Presentation. Counter. Okay, makita na ba, classmates?
Opo,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Yes po.
Yes.
So, good morning once again. I am going to
Morning.
our technical vocational program in the Philippines. What is technical vocational program? Technical vocational, wala man na change. Wait lang. Napon mo na
Walang change. Ano move?
sharing.
Shopee, pansit. Ay, kala ko pansit. Sabi, nasa class ako. Pag dumating yung pansit, 900 something plus 40 pesos. Yung iba tip na lang.
Okay,
Okay, it's good already.
technical vocational Philippines. Technical vocational or textbook courses are part of the non-formal education in the Philippines under the Republic Act 7796. The Technical Education and Skills Development Authority, known as TESDA, is mandated to provide technical education and skills development program for the Filipino learners. Next. Technical vocational education was first introduced to the Philippines through the enactment of Commonwealth Act number 337 or the Vocational Act of 1927. On June 3, National Assembly, June 3, and June 3, 1938, the National Assembly of the Philippines passed Commonwealth Act number 313, which provided for the establishment of regional national vocational trade school in the Philippines. On June 22, 1963, Republic Act number 3742, or an act creating a Bureau of Vocational Education, defining its function, duties, and powers, and appropriating funds was passed, which provided for the creation of a Bureau of Vocational Education, or BVE, Bureau of Vocational Education. The BVE was created with the purpose of strengthening, promoting, coordinating, and expanding the programs of vocational education now being undertaken by the Bureau of Public Schools. It was also created for the purpose of enhancing the socio-economic uh, program of the Philippines through the development of skilled manpower in agricultural, industrial, and trade technical, fishery, and other vocational courses. The Manpower Development Council, MDC, was created by virtue of Executive Order number 53 on December 8, 1966, which was issued by former President Ferdinand Marcos. The MDC, or Manpower Development Council, was tasked with developing an integrated long-term manpower plan as a component of the overall school social and economic development plan. Target, which were to be established by the said manpower plan, were to be used by the Department of Education and the Budget Commission in programming public investment in education and out of school training scheme. The MDC, or Manpower Development Council, was eventually replaced by the National Manpower Youth Council, or NMYC, which was created by virtue of Republic Act number 5462, or the Manpower and Out of School Youth Development Act of the Philippines. The NMYC was placed under the office of the President and was charged with establishing a National Manpower Skills Center under its authority and supervision for demonstration and research in accelerating manpower and youth training. It was also tasked with establishing regional and local training center for gainful occupation skills, as well as adapting employment promotion scheme to channel unemployment youth to critical and other occupations. Okay, next. Regional and local training center for gainful occupation skill, and ang purpose ng MDC, employment promotion scheme to channel youth in critical occupation. And the Public Act number 5462 was eventually repealed by Presidential Decree number 422, otherwise as known the Labor Code, on May 1, 1974. President Marcos on September 29 rather, 1972 issued Presidential Decree number 6-A, or the Educational Development Decree of 1972, which highlighted the government's education policy and priorities at the time. The decree also provided for the establishment, upgrading, or improvement of technical institute, skills training center, and other non-formal training program and project for the out-of-school youth and the unemployed, in collaboration with the program of the National Manpower and Youth Council. In 1975, reorganization of the Department of Education, Culture, and Sport lead to abolishment of the Bureau of Vocational Education, along with the Bureau of Public Schools and the Bureau of Private Schools. In their place, the Bureau of Elementary Education and the Bureau of Secondary Education and the Bureau of Higher Education were established. The responsibilities of the Bureau of Vocational Education were absorbed by the newly establishment Bureau of Secondary Education. Eventually, the Education Act of 1982 paved by way for the creation of Bureau of Technical and Vocational Education, or BTVE. The, the BTVE was tasked to conduct studies, formulate, develop, and evaluate post-secondary vocational technical program and recommend educational standards for these programs, as well as to develop curricular design and prepare instructional materials, prepare and evaluate programs to upgrade the quality of teaching and non-teaching staff, and formulate guidelines to improve the physical plan and equipment of post-secondary vocational technical schools. The creation of TESDA. The Philippine Congress enacted Joint Resolution number 2 in 1990, effectively creating the Congressional Commission for Education, or EDCOM. The commission was tasked to review and assess the education and manpower training system of the country. Among the recommendation of the commission was to establishment of the Technical Education and Skills Development Authority, or TESDA. a government agency tasked with developing and overseeing the country's vocational and technical education program and policies. The Commission further recommended that the new agency was created as a fusion of the following offices: the National Manpower Youth Council, NMYC of the Department of Labor and Employment, DOLE, the Bureau of Technical and Vocational Education, BTE, BTVE, of the Department of Education of Culture and Sport, known as DEX, and the Apprenticeship Program of Bureau of Local Government of DOLE. Subsequently, the Enactment Act of Republic Act number 7796, or Technical Education and Skills Development Act of 1994, authored by Senator Francisco Tatad and Edgardo Angara, led to the establishment of the present-day TESDA. Republic Act 7796 was signed into law by President Fidel Ramos on August 25, 1994. The merge the merger of the aforementioned office was meant to reduce bureaucratic oversight on skills development activities initiated by the private and public sector to provide a single agency that will take charge of the country's technical vocational education and training, or TVET. Hence, a major thrust of TESDA is the formulation of a comprehensive development plan for middle level manpower based on the National Technical Education and Skills Development Plan. This plan provides for a reformed industry-based training program that includes apprenticeship, dual training system, and other similar schemes. Further reform, the National Training Center for Technical Education and Staff Development, or NTCTESD, and its administration were transformed from the authority of the Department of Education, Culture and Sport, or DEX, to TESDA by virtue of Executive Order number 337, which was issued by President Fidel Valdez Ramos on May 17, 1996. The transfer was done in accordance with Republic Act 7796, which effectively transferred the DEX responsibility to uh, transferred the DEX responsibility of administering the technical vocational education and training to TESDA. Probably dili na makaya sa DEX ni DEX kay napa siya education, napa siya culture, napa siya schools, and napa jud siya vocational. So probably that is the reason why the government transferred it to TESDA. This necessitated the transfer of the administration of the NTCTEST from DEX to TESDA. Next, on September 15, 2004, President Gloria Macapagal Arroyo issued Executive Order number 358, which provided for the institutionalization, ladderized interface between technical vocational education and training, or TIBET, and higher education. It further mandates that TESDA and the Commission on Higher Education, CHED, develop and implement a unified national qualification framework that establish equivalency pathway and access ramp for easier transition and progression between TEBET and higher education. Next, President Rodrigo Duterte's Executive Order number 1, issued on June 30, 2016, effectively placed TESDA and other government agencies under supervision of the Cabinet Secretary. The executive order mandates that the agencies mentioned shall primarily evaluate existing poverty reduction program and its deemed necessary, formulate a more responsive set of program complementing existing one, channeling resources as necessary to reduce both the incidence and magnitude of poverty. Other duties and responsibility have been ascribed to the concerned agency by this executive order. It was later placed under the Department of Trade and Industry on October 31, 2018, following a reorganization of the Office of the Cabinet Secretary. Next, benefits. Graduating from the program given by TESDA will ensure the trainee a national certificate from TESDA. Assessments that come with benefits that includes equality assurance that the graduate has acquired proper knowledge and an understanding of the task and hand from undergoing a series of practical and hands-on demonstration, positive attitude from interviews with people who contribute to the job and work project. Not only that, but the certificate will also guarantee that the graduate has acquired the value that can help his skills needed for the said occupation and for future opportunities that can follow from the success of the current project. Program and services offered. Technical vocational education and training event, one of the program offered by TESDA. TESDA is mandated to provide technical vocational education and training, or TVET, in the Philippines. TVET provide education and training opportunities for students and clients in preparation for employment. It also offered to those part of the labor market looking to improve or develop new competencies to enhance employability in their chosen field. Training system. Tibet is classified into two main systems, the formal system and the non-formal system. The formal system is a post-secondary technical education of 6 months to 3 years, which entitles a student or trainee to a certificate in a specialized field. Programs under the formal system are delivered by both private and public vocational technical schools. The non-formal system, on the other hand, consists a variety of short-term programs, usually up to 6 months, targeting a special group of clients. These include those seeking employment in the government, special interests, services, salesmanship, farming, and forestry, and fishing. Next client, technical vocational education uh, trainee. Client is primarily composed of high school graduates, secondary school dropouts, and college graduates and undergraduates looking to gain the necessary skills in various sectors. TVET also considers part of their target client those who are unemployed but actively looking for work, overseas Filipino workers returning to the Philippines permanently to work, and those currently employed wanting to enhance or acquire new skills. Okay, delivery mode, we have school out. TESDA undertake direct training provision in order to provide Tibet client access to various technical education skills. The following are four training modalities: school-based program. School-based program are Tibet program that are directly delivered or provided by TESDA administered school. There are 57 TESDA administered schools here in the country, 19 of which are agriculture schools, 7 are fishery schools, 31 are trade schools. School-based programs include post-secondary offering of variety duration, not exceeding 3 years. Next, we have center-based. These are training provision or programs that are being offered in TESDA regional and provincial center throughout the country. There are 15 region center and 45 provincial center, adding 60 center that provide uh, center-based program. Next, community-based program. TESDA provide community-based program which are primarily offered to those who belong to marginalized group. These are intended to expand educational access to those who are unable to access or not accessible by formal training, provision, and program. The program is also designed to assist partner agency such as LGU and NGU, people, organization, and other agencies. Wala. Lo? Wala.
Nawala imong kuan.
Nawala imuhang kuan.
Wait.
Your visual is out.
Wait, no. Wait lang. Ito ko na human. Program, client, training program. So we have community-based program. No, again, TESDA also provides community-based programs which are primarily offered to those belong to marginalized group. These are intended to expand educational access to those who are unable to access or not accessible by program training, provision, and program. The program is also designed to assist partner agencies such as LGU and NGU, people, organization, and other agency and organization with regard to the poverty elevate and livelihood program. And the last is enterprise-based program. Kung balik sa taas, enterprise-based program. Yan. Enterprise-based program, training programs like apprenticeship, learnership, and dual training which are carried out within a firm or industry. So let me share my uh, uh, experience with this program, Doc, because I have undergone program by the TESDA before. I was not in public school. So, nag-school ko sa, diet. No? So, I have undergo apprenticeship sa M4 motorcycle regarding sa, and then sa M4, they have man refrigeration repair, they have motorcycle repair, they have computer repair. So I went to motorcycle, small engine, having an apprenticeship there. And then while I am there, I am wondering ba, I was wondering why I do not, why they did not allow me to handle a motorcycle to repair. They 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 let me clean the working area. The mga mekaniko, they asked me to buy cigarette for them. Sabi ko na, hindi man ni mao ako ang apprenticeship. So,
Yes.
ano ko dok sa amo ang manager sa that company niya siya dong appeal man na sa imuhang apprenticeship ang imuhang ugali kung dili ka kabalo mo mugmap mo limpyo di ka mapaubos dili ka ma success sa imuhang career. So that is the part of apprenticeship. So masking dili na ko part ang magmap, nagmap lang ko sa working area kay ang character man ako ang ilaha kong i-develop according to them. So that is my experience when I have undergo the apprenticeship program of that ESTA. Anyway, mas gwapo man po siya kay nabuak ang ako ang pride.
Fried chicken.
Yes, Doc. Okay, continue. Scholarship program. These are programs created to give help and financial assistance to deserving Tibet enrollees and trainees sa Pilipinas. We have private education student financial assistance or PESPA. Ang government will give scholarship budget for the student, no? For example, ang TESDA maghatag sa DAIT. DAIT, you have 10 student for you to accept this mga trainees. So that is financed by government. So ang government maghatag sa DAIT po 23,000 per student. Those who are qualified student, gusto maka-learn. So that is one of the program, scholarship program of the TESDA. Another one is training for work scholarship. The next is bottom-up budgeting. Wala pa ko kadungog aning bottom-up budgeting, but nabasa lang na ko din eh. And last, special training for employment program. So, these are my reference. And thank you for listening.
Okay, by the way, what were you able to get from this knowledge about TESDA?
About the changing of the name, Doc, murag the same isara ka iro, kambyuhan lang kadina.
Ano man, why do you say that?
Okay, primero MDC, Manpower Development Council, and then later on, the government decided to change the name, become NMYC. After that, now TESDA. But as I meditate this, Doc, changing the name, there is man development of this changing the name of the agency, eh, i-upgrade, mag-upgrade sila doc para ma ma-better ang objective sa TESDA to create skilled Filipino people, mga competent skilled workers doc ba na kaya mag-work abroad skills because of this changing or enhancing the curriculum of the TESDA of the textbook.
Then, considering, no, especially this time that there are now plenty of tests, the what is this, scholars, and there are tests, the programs that are available, no? Had this really contributed to what they intend to, based on their vision?
Yes, Doc. As I observed, Doc, na-answer man sa TESDA ang problem sa Pilipinas regarding unemployment. So, probably, yes, Doc. Ay
Probably lang. Why
yes,
this is
Doc,
probably?
100% Doc, na-adyo uh, good ang pag-change sa mga name or pag pag-develop sa curriculum sa TESDA, Doc.
Okay, so it is not just the change of name, but rather the change of name was triggered, no, with that particular purpose, especially that they intend to be aligned with what qualification, no, that they have to really adapt, considering that we need to be harmonized with the different countries, also especially in the ASEAN region. Uh, so this is one important information about TESDA. That's why it becomes authority. Sa una, council na in MYC, di ba? So National Manpower Youth Council. This time, it becomes authority. Now, during the time that it becomes an authority national, di ba, kanang TESDA is Technical Education Skills and Development Authority. So it is now of higher level. And in fact, the budget is now something greater, okay, higher also, because of so many things that they are trying to cover. If you notice, TESDA does not only situate itself to those who will be getting the formal education, but even those who are on short-term programs. And even those who are already, what is this, already considered as professionals can proceed to test the programs short term, like when the vocational nursing, when the, what is this, caregiving, and some other health related programs were popular, no, during the 90s, the early 90s. So many doctors were actually also enrolled in caregiving. Na mahala, doctor ka na, nurse ka na, you are still enrolled in this. It's because of the fact that the requirements abroad would be certification by national certification given by TESDA. So that's why they have come up with the national certification, di ba?
Yes,
So
Doc.
it is in that manner. Now, I'll, I just want to consider what you have shared to us about your experience, that although you're supposed to be trained in your OGT about, well, no, that motorcycle, about the technical part of it, you're made also to do some errands, papalitog sigarilyo, to do some janitorial work, no, pagmap sa kuan, sa loob. How do you assess that what is your feedback on that when you were told that it is part of the training?
At first, Doc, ano ko, parang pride ba? Yung- So,
Why did you say that?
because
And
I
then,
need man training, I need man,
mm-mm.
I need man experience. So, I, I did not, answer back to my head chief mechanic. I just obey
Okay.
what they want me to do. Paingon niya, mag-map ka diya sa, working area. So, mag-map, Doc, kay ano man. And then, later on, mga 6 months o 4 months sa OGT, na change man pud ang ako ang doc behavior kay unsaon man nimo lang bright ka out ka unya tapos ang imong character dili siya maayo so dili ta magdugay sa tuang work kay mag face man ta sa mga different character people. So ano pud ko, Doc, na train pud ang karakter, paubos pud produkto ba mutong na actually na-absorb na pud ko dito sa Baguio sa Yamaha pero wala lang ko nag-stay dito dok kay teacher man lang ako ang ano course dili man mechanic.
Okay. Are there some questions that the class would like to ask our reporter? Anyone? Something to enrich what he had reported, what he have shared? Anybody? Is there anybody who would like to ask? Or are you satisfied with the presentation of Mr. Salbanya about TESDA? So if there are questions, no more questions? Okay, no more questions. So I think they are satisfied, Mr. Salbanya. Anyway, you understand already why TESDA is being given. In fact, if you notice this time, even in the advertisement for the campaign of our senators, campaign of our politicians, they're using TESDA, no, to be who is that particular candidate using TISDA as the the platform for his popularity. Do you know that particular
Villanueva,
politician? Huh?
Joel Villanueva doc test daman.
Villanueva. What do you think is the reason why he was making it as his asset, no, in the campaign?
Para ma-re-elect again doc sa senatorial.
Why? What is in that test that would prove himself to be somehow the person to be re-elected?
Siguro yung mga program na the boss ni Senator Joel Villanueva na no more na unemployment in the Philippines. Puros na yung mga trabaho doc.
Okay, but if you notice, the TESDA is also covering the health related, no, not just about caregiving. Even to become doctors, TESDA is also now expanding its coverage of scholarship. No, so that means they have good funding in that aspect. That's why they can finance as many as those who would be needing in order to be given better opportunity for their employment and for their work. Okay, so that's why Villanueva, being the testaman, is making that as his edge over the others. Di ba? So it is actually somehow a very good platform on his part for his political career because of the accomplishment of TESDA. And the TESDA's accomplishment somehow he's giving it as part of his credit because being the man behind the TESDA's implementation. Well, anyway, Villanueva is a good man naman, no? So, so many can probably vouch for that. Okay, so thank you so much, Mr. Salbanya, for your presentation. So the one who is supposed to report now is Colinares. Wala lang gyapon siya. What happens to her? She's now out for 3 meetings or 2 meetings. So we can proceed to De La Peña or Villas. Who will be the first one? De La Peña or
De la Peña po,
Villas?
Doc. De la Peña
Okay,
po.
sige. Sige, De La Peña, you start now. This is about baccalaureate degree programs with 4 year, no? Degree program.
Yes, Doc.
So thank you, Mr. Salbanya, for your comprehensive presentation.
So, good morning, everyone. I'm Jesaldez de la Peña, your presenter for Baccalaureate Degree Program. So, first, let's answer the question, what is baccalaureate degree? So, a baccalaureate degree is the same exact thing as bachelor's degree or a 4 year undergraduate degree. The word baccalaureate comes from the medieval Latin word baccalaureatus, meaning the initial or first degree you obtain at a university. So, when we say bachelor's degree, it is the same way as the baccalaureate degree. So, what is the supervising institution of baccalaureate degree? So, last meetings we talked about the junior high school, the senior high school, and a while ago we talked about the TESDA. So, in every degree we have different institution that supervises it. For the baccalaureate or the bachelor's degree, we have the CHED or the Commission on Higher Education. It is a non-chartered public post-secondary education institution established by the law, administered, supervised, and financially supported by the government. So, CHED or Commission on Higher Education is under the office of the president. It is a direct institution from the office of the president. So, what are the supporting laws that establishes the CHED? First, we have Republic Act number 7722. It is known as the Higher Education Act of 1994. It is signed into law on May 19, 1994. May 18 rather, May 18, 1994. This law abolishes the Bureau of Higher Education and confined the jurisdiction of DepEd to elementary and secondary levels. So as you can recall from Mr. Rex report, na TESDA was also revised. TESDA as elementary, secondary, TESDA, and CHED or the bachelor's degree is under one institution before, but it is one by one separated. In 1994, it is where the CHED it was established. So ito yung law that supports the establishment of the Commission on Higher Education. So this act, under this act, we have the uh, the mandate that promotes a quality education that protects the academic freedom of the students as well as the teachers. And under also this law, we have the advancement of learning. We have the collegial body and the power and the function of the Commission on Higher Education. As what I have said, Commission on Higher Education promotes the relevant and quality ensuring the access of quality higher education. So in this law, makikita mo dito yung mga mandates, yung collegial body, kung gusto mo maging CHED personnel, dito mo rin makikita na law kung what are the traits or what are the um tawag dito, parang degree na dapat mo kunin if ever you want to apply for CHED. Next, we have Republic Act 8292, also known as the Higher Education Modernization Act of 1997 or the HEMA Act of 1997. This law is empowers state university and colleges in the Philippines to engage in corporate activities. Its aim is to have a more coordinated and integrated system. So this Republic Act established to complete adequate integrated system of higher education. This law was to modify and made more uniform compositions of the governing boards of chartered state universities and colleges. To, in 1994, we had the establishment of CHED. Pero in the span of years, siguro hindi pa masyadong tested or hindi pa masyadong organized yung system ng CHED kasi nga bago in 1997, they made this Modernization Act so that the state colleges, the public and private colleges can have a uniformity or the system na isa lang yung way para to guide the public and private institutions. Another law, this law is very bago pa siya. It is the Republic Act 10931, as known as the Universal Access to Quality Tertiary Education Act, and this was signed by President Duterte on August 2017. It is to provide the unprivileged Filipino students an opportunity to pursue college degrees. So, as you can recall, in the year 2017, parang issue pa siya masyado kasi nga, state universities like the UP Diliman and the University of Southeastern Philippines, hindi na nila pinapabayaran yung tuition fees. Though less, though UP, yung UP is, wala na talaga silang binabayaran, but the USEP had this tuition. But on the year on 2017, parang because of this Republic Act, wala nang binabayaran yung students. Sa pagkakaalam ko as of today, wala silang tuition but they have the uh, anong tawag niya na fee? Uh, ano ba? Like the library fee, mga
Other
ganyan. Yan na lang
fees.
yung, yes po,
Miscellaneous and other fees.
miscellaneous and other fees na lang yun binabayaran niya. Per sem is parang 2K, 3K, ganyan na lang. So, because of this law, kasi sa tingin ni President Duterte, madaming students or madaming youth na hindi nag-aaral kasi nga daw mahal yung colleges. So, kaya inoffer niya ito na law to promote the young ones to enroll in colleges. How long does it take a baccalaureate degree? So a typical baccalaureate program lasts 4 years, but some students might earn their degrees in slightly less time. So in this report, I will only be talking about the 4 year degree because Mom Jennifer will be talking about the 5 to 6 years baccalaureate degrees. So how does baccalaureate degree differ from other degrees? So for the undergraduate, we have the associate degree of 2 years, uh, high school diploma, complete all coursework. In bachelor's degree is also called undergraduate. It takes about 4 years. The prerequisite are the high school diploma. Associate degree is similar to the technical vocational degrees or yung TESDA, yung midwife, yung ganon. Associate degree yung tawag sa kanila. The report was presented by Sir Rex. So we have the bachelor's degree, the 4 years. For master's degree, we have 1 to 3 years. And for doctorate degree, we have 5 to 8 years. Types of baccalaureate degrees. So we have many baccalaureate degrees. The first, we have Bachelor of Arts, one of the most common bachelor degrees awarded for study in the arts, humanities, social sciences, or natural sciences. So, sa atin dito sa Davao City, we have the University of Mindanao and PWC who offers Bachelor of Arts. Pero sa iba kasi meron but hindi masyadong pinopromote. Second, we have Bachelor of Science, which is one of the common bachelor degrees and awarded for study in science, math, technology, or different STEM field courses. We have BSN or Bachelor of Science in Nursing. We have pharmacist, that is BS Pharma. We also have MedTech. Those are the Bachelor of Science. Those are the courses under Bachelor of Science. Next, we have Bachelor of Fine Arts, one of the most common bachelor's degrees awarded for the study of visual or performing arts. So, one of Bachelor of Fine Arts here in Davao City, we have in the PWC, they have Bachelor of Fine Arts. They also have um, modeling, which is, I cannot recall the course term, pero para siyang modeling which is under Bachelor of Fine Arts. Separate din siya sa, we have also in Fine Arts, we have also this tourism. And also we have in UIC, they have Bachelor of Fine Arts there. Next is Bachelor of Music, awarded for study of music or musical performances. And here in the Davao region, we have UIC. They offer Bachelor of Music in piano and violin and cello. They have until now they still offer Bachelor of Music, depending on what music or what uh, type of or majoring you have. You can have the keyboards, you can have the strings, so you can choose. Next, we have Bachelor of Business Administration, a professional degree awarded for study of business administration. So it's very a common bachelor degree in Ateneo. Sila yung pinakasikat in this field. And also the Holy Cross of Davao. They also offer, all schools offers Bachelor of Administration or BSBA. But um, one of the most outstanding school that offers this bachelor degree is the University of no, the Ateneo de Davao University, sorry. Kasi nga 'di ba we have different fields of specialty in each school. So in Davao City, as we all know, iba-iba yung mga uh, specialties natin dito. So, Bachelor of Applied Science is similar to BA or BS with a focus on hands-on approaches and practical applications, usually awarded for study of scientific or business-oriented discipline. So, I've heard this course under siya usually sa entrepreneurship, so applied science. Next, we have Bachelor of Architecture, a professional degree awarded for study of architecture. And lastly, we have Bachelor of Education Professionals degree awarded for the study of teaching learners. So what we are taking right now is most of us are under Bachelor of Education. So nakalimutan ko pala, Bachelor of Science, Criminology is also Bachelor of Science, which schools that specializes Bachelor of Science and Criminology are RMC and UM. So here in Davao City. So those are the bachelor's degree under the 4-year courses, but some of the courses under the Bachelor of Architecture takes 4 years up, but the basic are on the 4-year degree. So what are the subjects on bachelor's degree? So they have two type or two separation, not types. We have the minor subjects and the major subjects. So in minor subjects provide students with opportunity to learn more about something, whether or not is it is related to their major. So these minor subjects usually takes on the first and second years of schooling, while the major subjects requires a lot of focus, attention, and time. So major subjects, ito yung core ng profession mo or core ng pinili mong bachelor's degree. Well, the minor subject, ito yung um, common, no, not the term common. Minor subjects, ito yung parang general subject that all of the bachelor's degree can take this subject. So magkakapara lahat ng bachelor's degree with the minor subjects. While the major subject are your core subject of your chosen baccalaureate degree. So here are the references, and that would end my report. That would be all. Thank you.
Now, this particular part, this is actually about uh, curriculum educational, no? Level. So you are talking about baccalaureate degree programs, the 4 years. And there are actually different 4-year degree programs, no? You did not exhaust as to what are those supposed to be 4 years, especially this time. So many programs are available already for the 4-year degree. 4-year degree. You did not include other programs with 4-year degrees. Anyway, Sibelius will be doing the five, no? The 5 years and on, because there are some with still 6 years. Now, what did you see or what did you know about this 4-year degree in baccalaureate? Giselle?
Yes, Doc.
Yeah, what did you know about it? Having presented all those programs.
4-year degree, Doc, is one of the most useful. Parang ito yung in general term, 4-year degree, ito yung parang sinabi ng nanay natin na mag-aral ka ng college pagkatapos mo kay ganito ganyan. But when you go on to college, when you undergrad college, parang yung 4-year degree is just a stepping stone on what will you be taking, kasi madaming as of today madaming nagsa-second courser just to pursue what they dream, kasi nga as what as the implementation of RA10931, maraming hindi nakaka-pursue ng college. It's because of mahal nga, mahal, parang ganyan, mahal. But because of scholarships available na, yung mga basic courses na nag-offer ng scholar is just a stepping stone for students na gustong proceed with other courses. Like, kasi most common 4-year degree courses na masyadong, lahat siguro sa estudyante ay alam yung nursing, education, criminology, yun yung mga yon. But in other curriculum or sa ibang bansa na curriculum, a 4-year degree or bachelor degree is an undergraduate degree program, kasi they believe in their curriculum na when you are graduate, when you finish masteral or a doctorate degree, which is in the Philippines hindi siya masyadong practice.
Now, you see, for example, you said kanina about Bachelor of Arts. It's UM and also PWC offering that. You know, the Bachelor of Arts actually is the most common at the start. There are plenty of Bachelor of Arts to start with, no? So it's not only UM, because what probably you are trying to mean about Bachelor of Arts is just the term arts. Uh, but there is the so-called Bachelor of Fine Arts that's where only few schools are actually what offering that. That is where the center of the presentation of Maita last time, because this is started already as one of the strands, no, of especially one of the strands, one of the tracks, in fact, no, about arts and design, in which part of the strands there is on the fine arts and music, on performing arts, and so on. So Bachelor of Arts is the most common. That was the first actually in the past. And most of the schools had been offering Bachelor of Arts. But you notice this time, with the specialization area making it as a straight program, the Bachelor of Arts is now getting out, no? Only few are enrolling. Like for example, Bachelor of Arts in Communication Arts. Ya kaya may straight program na, no? Bachelor of Arts in, for example, kuan, because there are plenty, ha, uh, mga Bachelor of Arts in Political Science, Bachelor of Arts in Economics, Bachelor, purting teghana, pero they started with Bachelor of Arts. Una gitawag na tog AB program, Bachelor of Arts, dili BA, AB program. And it is not anymore as no, as needed as in the past. So this is in fact by itself already phasing out, no? Just like our MC, we have plenty of Bachelor of Arts, but only few, no, are actually enrolled. Why? May lang tong mag-Bachelor of Arts, kagado would normally go to like going to seminary where they can proceed, no, to the philosophy part. Pero for professional area, they have difficulty on that. So I would just want to ask you, what is the difference between Bachelor of Arts from Bachelor of Science? Like, for example, Bachelor of Science in Criminology. And then, in fact, there are some without arts anymore. Diretso na, Bachelor of Elementary Education. In the past, that is Bachelor of Science in Elementary Education, Bachelor of Science in Secondary Education, no? So karon dili na, it's now Bachelor of Elementary Education, Bachelor of Secondary Education. So what differs it by eliminating science or by eliminating arts, Miss Giselle?
As po, as what I have understood from BA and BS, so BA more likely the courses under BA more likely under the humanities and arts, um, while the BS emphasizes on STEM or the science and mathematical courses po.
Okay. Now how about without science nor arts?
Again
There's
po,
no
so
science. There are some programs like Bachelor of Elementary Education. There is no science. There is no arts. It's direct Bachelor of Elementary Education, Bachelor of Secondary Education. What is that?
Happy birthday to you!
actually, Doc, wala. Honestly, hindi ko pa po siya masyadong na-explore with those courses po. But I think it's parang independent course po siya under the collegiate degree.
When you say independent, what does that imply?
It stands alone, or I mean it's uh, a course where uh, parang yung course niya is talks about the major or the basic like BE Ed, wala na siyang science and wala na din siyang arts.
Now, because you see, there is the so-called the professional, no, programs. That means it would be practice, professional practice na diretso, no? That's why it is Bachelor of Elementary Education. This is a professional practice in teaching elementary, no, elementary level. So there's no more arts, there's no more science. So because it is a professional practice. So just like doctor of education, not doctor of philosophy in education, because that is different. When you say, anyway, kinsa man itong magkuhan sa graduate level, no, later on. That's, so, like for example, in the past, there was that Bachelor of Elementary Education, major in special education. This time, it's not anymore a major because BE Ed is now generalist. Okay? There's no more major. Sa una, BE Ed na ay major special education, and another major is, for example, early, no? O gitawag na siya sa una, preschool, major in preschool education. The other one is major in special education. So there are two majors, no? Although there are some other majors yet. But this time, BE Ed has no more major. It is actually generalist. That means you can teach AD if you are a BE Ed, not any more specific major. So that's the point that when you are BE Ed, diretso na, generalist yun na siya. No major at all. And also, according to Maita concentrates, ano yun, hindi ko nabasa. BA, no?
Sorry,
So,
Bachelor of Arts po concentrates on academic, tapos Bachelor of Fine Arts concentrate on the creative, so visual, performing arts.
that's it. Okay. So that's why kanina, when I said, when I asked about, because it was emphasized by Giselle that the Bachelor of Arts are offered only by, this particular program is offered only by UM and PWC. What probably she was trying to mean is about the Bachelor of Fine Arts, not necessarily arts, because arts is very common. And in fact, most of the schools that started in the past as college, most of their offerings were Bachelor of Arts, major in English, Bachelor of Arts, major, so no, in literature, Bachelor of Arts, major in social science. It is that way, okay? So that's the point there. So when you say Bachelor of Arts, this is actually more on the academic side, while the Bachelor of like Fine Arts, that is now on, well, the term alone, Fine Arts, no? Especially on something creative, something that relates to a special program. Now, I was also discussing about uh, the general list of the BEd. Why these two majors in the past, special education and uh, so-called preschool education, are no longer offered now. Rather, these are now offered as, oy hala, wala na akong battery. These are already offered as what? Uh, Straight program. So when we say straight program, it refers to STAN by itself, no? So not anymore just as a major of one program. Because in the past, this is a major of BEd. Since BEd is now a separate program, so that's the point that being a separate program, Okay. As a separate program, this actually give us something specializing na, no? Separate na gid siya kanang by itself, it can stand by itself. So, what is now the special education major last time? It is now Bachelor of Special Needs Education. So, kano siya? No, it's a separate uh, straight program na, not just a major of BEd. And then that early childhood is not anymore a major, but it is a Bachelor of Early Childhood Education. So nausab. Hmm. In fact, there is also a Bachelor of Science in Guidance and Counseling. It's now being changed to Bachelor of, so lahi na sa tayo siya, no? Kaya instead counseling, Bachelor of Human Services. So it is BHUM Serve. So Bachelor of Human Services. Not anymore guidance and counseling na usab na karon as a straight, although it was a straight program in the past, but guidance and counseling is not just the only thing. They had seen that it is part of the human services where there is guidance, there is also counseling. In fact, for major in this area, especially like psychology, to practice as guidance counselor, you would not be able to become a professional guidance counselor if you are not able to take master's degree related to this area on human services or guidance counseling area. So you should be a graduate either of a psychology and then you have a master's related to guidance or human services before you can take the board examination. So this is actually the only program that requires finishing first a master's before taking the board exam. Unlike other professions where board examination is required immediately after taking the baccalaureate degree. Okay? So siguro matatsad ni sa mag-report sa what is this sa graduate school. Oh, what is this? So this is now what we see, no, as far as our programs are concerned, especially with the issuance of so many CMOs. CMOs means actually Chaired Memorandum of Orders, CMO, where the CMO is by program, separate program. So unlike in the past, lahi siya, no? In the past, curricular programs do not have any prescribed minimum requirement. Bala ng eskwelahan. But this time, through the CMO, each program has a minimum requirement already. The same holds true with the basic education. Sa una, ang minimum lang basta na ay English, na ay ana, no? English, na ay math, and so on. But this time, there are now other courses that are, or subjects that are being added. Karon ginag-anigad in the basic education and especially in the higher education through the CHED. There are now plenty of curricular offerings that are being given better emphasis because of the presence of the technical panel. This technical panel is somehow the one that would scrutinize the discipline. No? Like for example, kana teacher education, there are plenty of programs in teacher education. So aside from BEd, aside from BSEd, itong ingon na kong Bachelor of Early Childhood Education, BECED, Bachelor of Special Needs Education, that is still under the teacher education per se. And even the what is this, the alternative learning system, that is still part of the teacher education, and there is a committee tasked to handle that through this technical panel. So each of these programs that are offered, no, is actually being reviewed by the technical panel, and each of these programs with board examination requirement is actually also reviewed in coordination with the board examiners, so that the questions that will be formulated by the board of examiners would really be consistent with what is offered in the curriculum provided by the technical panel on such discipline. Kay kung dili, walay coordination, there is a very, no, there is a discrepancy there. The questions asked by the by the board of examiners may not fit to those that were being indicated in the curriculum by the technical panel. So kada discipline there is a technical panel, okay, that really reviewed. So that means this is not done by the Commission on Higher Education. The Commission on Higher Education is facilitating, as long as that the minimum standards, the policies, and the guidelines are being crafted and being implemented. And this is the implementing arm is the CHED. Oh, so, sa ato pa, dili na to i-blame tanan ang CHED kung anong naingon ani na. And you know, this technical panel is composed of professionals in that field. Like for example, mga nursing, sa BS nursing example, dili man ang CHED ang mao'y naglingkod yan, kundi the appointed members of the technical panel to review the nursing curriculum, to see to it that it would fit to the current needs and situation according to the global requirements as well. No? And then, ang panel naman na what is this? The board of examiners for the board exams would also be able to coordinate with this technical panel so that the examination questions would be in coordination with the technical panel. Who's this? Michelle A. Vera. May bago na sad siya moabot. So that's it. So do you have other points there? Anybody would like to ask questions about the fourth-year degree program in Bachalaureat? By the way, may I ask you again, Miss uh, Giselle? Giselle. Yes, what is your koan? Why is it called Bachalaureat? Kilapenya? Why is this called Baccalaureate degree? You have a very good point kanina pag istorya nito. What is that? Could you just reiterate that for us to understand better? Why is it called baccalaureate degree?
It is baccalaureate. Sorry po, madinig ako. Umuulan kasi. Sorry. Uh, it is called baccalaureate degree. Is the same as the bachelor's degree or a 4-year undergraduate degree that comes from the medieval Latin word baccalaureatus, which means the first degree you obtain at a university. So it is your stepping stone for another cycle of lives.
So it is a first degree.
Yes po,
Okay?
first degree.
first degree that you have taken, no? So that means it is a degree because when you are a graduate of senior high, that is not yet a degree. That is only in high school diploma. So when you say degree, this is now at bachelor level, the first bachelor. No? So that's why it is bachelor or baccalaureate. Now, do you think one of the reasons behind this about that legal education, why the term bachelor from bachelor of laws was taken out, bachelor of laws, it becomes now juris doctor? Nadaot yun niya ang linya. Si Jalapena. Who can answer that? Who would like to help in that?
Mauna na kang kain.
Ang Jalapena nga linya nag on and off.
Close na.
Because in the past, di ba, kargado sa nagkuha og diploma na AB Politics, AB Social Science, AB kuan kanang basta it's about Bachelor of Arts. So that's why very popular ang Bachelor of Arts program in the past, no? Because they have the intention to go further. However, the Bachelor of Arts, AB Politics, AB Science, Social Science, pag mahuman ang estudyante og Bachelor of Arts in English or whatever, and then proceed to law, Bachelor of Laws, Bachelor lagi yapon. Now, the term, as it was stated by De La Peña, the term Bachelor is the first degree, no, that an individual can take. Now, getting law is not anymore the first degree, bachelor's degree, but rather that's another degree. And I hope the one who will be presenting about legal education, Ms. Ancheta, Ancheta is absent this time because it is her birthday, di ba? Birthday for Miss Ancheta. So, why it was transferred or made or become now, no, and they changed to Juris Doctor instead of Bachelor of Laws. That might be one of the reasons which we try to check once you will be reporting on that. Then there is the Master of Laws, also the Doctor of Laws as well. I remembered last time uh, we when we offered the Bachelor of Laws at Corieso College the first time, that was 1982. So we processed that, and then it could not be given a recognition unless we have the dean who should be at least a master's degree holder in laws, no? Master of Laws. Wa man gyud may makuha. Here comes a person who is 70 years old, anyway, 70, di pa man kayo, is 70 years old, but with a doctor of laws. And he finished, no, more than 70 na to siya because he finished his Doctor of Laws in when he was 70 years old. So we were able to get him and become the Dean of the School of Law of Corieso College. So that was the start, the first time, no? Pero we noticed that that person actually started as a policeman. Nagkuha siya law. No? And sa kuha niya law, nakapasar siya sa bar, so he took also the masters. Then, like 70 years old na siya nga, he finished his Doctor of Laws. So he did not stop schooling. And we were able to get him. So he was the one who saved us, no, to make sure that we can offer the law school of Corieso. So karon, ang Corieso has the most number of students, no, in law, because one of the reasons is that those who could not qualify at what is this in Davao City, no, in Ateneo, during my time, naabot ko dito during the 1990s, is so many students will transfer to Korea to finish their law. Kay, wa na sila gidawat sa Ateneo kay ang ilang grado dili nakaabot sa what is this sa cut-off because they have their academic cut-off academic standard wherein if you have this lower than no so which they have set you could no longer proceed to that Ateneo but they can transfer so and the absolver was Corieso College. However, most of those who transferred and finished and graduated at Corieso de Law, their Bachelor of Laws, passed the bar examination. Ang bansang napili dito sa Ateneo nga kay naka-qualify, wasod ka pasal sa bar. So, na-challenge to sila kay nga bitang waslat kapadayon, di ba? So there is the pride according to Mr. Rex. The pride, so the pride of some of these students. However, this time because RMC is now offering law to niya ano say daghan na sa transfer sa RMC because anyway the professors are the same still coming from Ateneo. Although ang uban nagsikan thought kay Ateneo lagi po ni ilang professor niya nalagpak na sila dito. Yung mabalik na sad. So, they go to RMC because somehow they had seen it could be to their advantage in terms of time and in terms of cost because the tuition fee at the RMC is very low. Then in terms of time, they will not anymore be traveling, just like going to these schools. So, nana say daghan sa RMC. And we hope they will be making good, especially that their professors are the same professors that they were under during the time that they were with Ateneo University. So that's it, no? So at times there are things that are being changed. So dili na Bachelor of Laws, but Bachelor Jurisdoctor. So Ancheta will be prevailing with that. So talking about the baccalaureate degree programs, there are plenty of baccalaureate degree programs. No? So pwedeng Bachelor of Science, pwedeng Bachelor of Arts, pwedeng walay arts, walay science. Okay? So this could have been properly, what is this? It's differentiated, no? What is the difference between this? Why without arts? Why there was no? Why there without science also? Remember last time when nursing was very popular, and so many students were enrolling nursing during the 1990s, early 90s. So there was also a dearth of nursing deans. And the nursing dean should be master of, at least, master of nursing. So what happens, lisod man makuha o MA in nursing, Master of Arts in nursing. So there was a change, there was a curriculum about Master in Nursing, MN, instead of MAN. So we accepted the shift, either a Master in Nursing or Master of Arts in Nursing. So but there is a difference there in the curriculum. One has the arts, the other without the arts. Okay? And that's why we are trying, I hope the one who will be reporting on graduate education will also be giving the difference on this, no? Those with and those without. So the one reporting for graduate is SPIHA. So SPIHA will report a lot of these things. Because we need to understand what makes the difference of this, especially on this level of graduate education, this level of baccalaureate education, okay? And especially also sa medical field, daghan na sila mga other requirements there. Okay? So wala gyud nag-question. You mean you understand things? Sayang ang atong reporter sige on and off, no? Because according to her, grabe ang plan sa ilang lugar. So that's why there are technical glitches, which we always understand about that because we always encounter this kind, no, when it is online. So, are there no other concerns? By the way, this coming April 9, I missed to inform you, April 9 and April 16, two successive Saturdays that we will not have any class. Because these two Saturdays are proclaimed holidays. Okay? These are already proclaimed as holidays. So, I was thinking that since you will be making your report, your equivalent AIMRAD presentation, uh, if we could have also some sort of a banding, no, which we can see each other, making use probably of October, April 9, or maybe the April 16, if ever. So any of these two Saturdays, or probably not 16, and that is already. So either April 9 or maybe April 17, because the holiday is until April 17. So if you have Sunday class, there's no class again because of the Holy Week. So starting the Holy Week until the 17, there would be no classes. And then starting, no, by April 9, there's no class. So we don't have, for the graduate school, there we don't have class on April 9, April 16, and April 17. Okay, so these are successive, no class at all. So if you intend to, we can, we can probably, what is this, plan out as to whether you go somewhere or you can come over here in Digos, diri lang ta banding-banding, and then we can discuss things about how your report will have to be presented, no, for your research presentation. Okay? Or if not, gikan sa Digos, diretso ta dito sa Malagunon going to Kapatagan. Yeah, dito manihot to sa Malagunon. Pwede pay as you order in Payag Pips, no? So it could be that way. So depending ninyo if you wish, so you can organize yourself. I think there were some, pero not from this class because it was the class of 111 last time and 112. Both of them uh, went, no, to that place. Yeah, to now na sa segundo. So that means it's good to discuss things there, right there. Okay? So if ever you wish, so you could have April 9 or April 17. So these are the two possible dates that you can, we can be together. No? Oh, so at the same time, banding-banding rasad. Total, pwede naman ron mag-travel and we bind together and we can, and making use of the holiday because the holiday will prevent us from doing a class. So gamitin na lang nato para for coaching purposes. So it is coaching activity. At the same time, banding activity. Okay, so I'm just throwing it in. So maybe Maita will be, I asked Maita to take charge of this, to coordinate whether you can pursue or not. April 17, si Amwalia, April 17. Ayan. So Maita, may I designate you to take charge in coordinating with your classmates, the
Okay.
possibility of having that. No?
We can chat naman sa messenger. We'll find out lang who is in Davao, sinong gustong magsabay. Problem ko lang kasi, Doc, is I have a car but I don't drive. And I don't have a driver.
Oo. Sige lang. There are also kung ano man, hire. You can hire naman, what is this?
Pwede, tas
Some,
apod-apod na lang.
mag-amot na lang, no? For kuan aron. Nobody will be kuan kanang mahago bitaw in driving,
Rent a
so you
car.
can
Rent
enjoy.
a car.
Or borrow
Rent
a
a
driver.
car naman for one day. And then, from Balagunon, you can go farther to the Kapatagan area.
Okay.
So, medyo gwapo siguro. Okay. So, Maita, you take charge in
Sige
coordinating.
pa, Doc.
So, there's one already you expressed nga April 17 na nasa ikaduha si Susana. April 17. Okay. So, maybe that's good. You can start with that. Okay, thank you so much. So, Maita, can we have again another shoot? Another shoot.